Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Heartful of Hallmark. We are so excited to have Emily on today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to meet you guys.
Yeah, it's great to meet you too.
So, we have quite the slate today. Last time we talked to Jake Foy. So we're going to go right into the first film. But before we get into that, what did you think about doing a dancing movie? Was there any prep?
Was there any prep?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So when I initially got the script, I was very excited because it was such a unique premise. And I do love a challenge. So I knew there were 3 dances that I was going to have to learn. So I was excited and nervous. And I was in touch with the director. I'm like, hey, when are we starting rehearsals? Because I was on board probably a month and a half before filming. And we didn't start rehearsals until I think the Friday before we started filming on the Monday. So that was hard for me because I like to be prepared, but that's just how these things work out. So yes, we did get to have 2 rehearsals before we went to camera with Jake and our lovely choreographer, Milena. And she set us up for success. And as I'm sure Jake told you, he has a background in musical theater. So I was in very good hands. And he had the challenge of leading me while pretending he knew nothing about what he was doing. So he had his own challenge.
How many toes were stepped on? We know how dancing goes. Being a show choir kid, I've had plenty of toes stepped on, and I've stepped on plenty of toes. Was there any of that during the rehearsals or on set?
You know what? No, not that I can. And no one was injured. I'll say that. But I will give you a little behind the scenes. The theater we were performing in had a carpeted stage, which makes dancing very difficult, especially the tango, because you're meant to be sliding and really fluid movements and spinning. And, there were some hiccups during that number for sure, which the editors were so kind to us, and they managed to cut around it and make it look beautiful and seamless. But that was probably the hardest part, was actually rehearsing on stage in our dancing shoes on the carpet.
And that will move us into, could you tell us about the Wish Swap and why is this a different film for the Hallmark Channel? We've never seen something like this storyline before.
Sure. So the Wish Swap premise is that, we have a meet cute at the restaurant between Henry and Casey. 2 strangers are celebrating their birthday in the same place, and they end up sharing a birthday cake, blowing out the candles, and their wishes come true, but they get each other's, and hilarity and love ensues. So I think it's unique for the Hallmark Channel because, well, magic, first of all, I've heard they're adding more magic into their movies, which I just think is so cool. And I love that it was just one of those things where it was like, well, this must have happened. Okay, we're moving forward. You don't spend so much time trying to unpack it and really pull at the string there. You're just like, well, we got each other's wishes. What are we going to do now? And you get to see them go on that journey together, which I thought was really unique. I'm not sure if they've ever done a dance reality show before, maybe Dance Moms, but I don't know that they've ever done the competition with multiple rounds and different types of dancing. I think that might have been unique. So yeah, and also the juxtaposition of the farm life to the dance show. I've never seen that before either. So I thought it was really fun and unique. What did you guys think?
I loved it. And when you first got the script, did it kind of remind you of Freaky Friday? We talked about this with Jake, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the perfect way to put it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. What a great reference, for sure. And I just also love, obviously Henry has a bit of hesitation and he's kind of stubborn, but I love Casey's confidence and just her willingness to put herself out there and how she encourages Henry to do the same. I just love that as a character, like quality for her to even offer to be his partner, and she's just met him. But that's her truth. That's just the kind of person she is. And I really loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved it also. And my main question is, along with this being a dancing movie, there's a lot of animals in here. On set, there's a lot of stories. You don't want to work with animals, babies, or a salty crew member. So what was it like with the animals on set, and were there any retakes with any of them?
I disagree with that. I would love to work with animals all day, every day, but I'm not the director, and I'm sure that they feel differently. However, I told David, I was like, I love animals, so throw me in there. I will do anything. And he did, one day I'm sitting in a goat pen with 20 baby goats running all over me, and I'm having the best day of my life. So yes, there are some difficulties. When we were at the dairy farm, the cows never stopped mooing. So we had to go back and ADR, re-record our lines for the big scene where I'm like, Henry, did you wish for a farm? Which is all exposition and a lot of details. So, re-recording those lines is tough, but you can't ask the cows to be quiet. We're on their turf. It work. The chicken coop, those chickens were flying everywhere, and you just kind of got to roll with it. They're not trained professionals, but I loved it. I love working with animals. I just think, it's so special. Anytime I have an opportunity to do that on set, I'm thrilled.
I also love the dancing scene, like on the truck too. Was that hard to do?
I love that scene too. I think it's really sweet. Casey has this moment of extreme vulnerability, and Henry offers to rehearse their dance together. And I just think that's such a beautiful moment, because it's his way of saying, I hear you, I see you. And the last thing I want to do is dance, but I think this might make you feel better. I just think that it's so touching. I just remember it being really noisy, like our boots clunking around. Like, it looks really sweet. Obviously, they've cut out all the audio because he's bad at dancing at that point too. So it literally is us just clunking around the back of a truck. It's very loud and noisy, and maybe not as cute in person, but I think it worked on camera.
Yeah. And you also had like the ultimate wing woman with Crystal Lowe. What was it like working with her?
I sure did. I love Crystal. She's such a ball of energy. She is the person you want as your wing woman, for sure. I loved all of our scenes because I feel like our energy was like equally in step, really speedy. So we got to have a lot of fun, quick walk and talks, and she was awesome. I just adored working with her, and I hope I have the opportunity again.
Yeah, I loved how you had like how she made like those like little passes to like help you out. Like, you need to use this.
For sure, and reminds me. She's like, "Hey, you want to use that?" I'm like, "Fine." Yes, no, she's definitely a good friend. Casey's very lucky.
What was your favorite scene as an actress in this film? As a viewer, my favorite scene was all the dancing scenes because I've danced. But what was your favorite scene to shoot?
Well, I have to say the dancing scenes were pretty epic. It was the last day of filming. We got to do them all back to back. We did each dance probably 20 times in a row. And we worked so hard on them. So while we had 2 days of rehearsal, Jake and I were rehearsing every moment we got, between other scenes. We'd step off to the side. We'd be in the restaurant, and him and I would be walking through our dances because we wanted them to go well. We wanted this to look good. And while they're not supposed to be professional dancers, we still want the audience at home to have fun watching it. So we worked really hard on it, and it was really cool to see it all come together. So the dancing, yes. From an acting perspective, Jake and I just had a lot of fun together, and we would rehearse all of our scenes in advance and really make sure that they made sense to us. We had a really nice scene with us eating ice cream on the porch. And I think when we filmed it, I think our takes were like 12 minutes long, because the director afterward cuts out all the air but he let us keep it really natural. He let us take our pauses. And I think we both just felt really present with each other in that scene. And we both got to request our favorite ice creams. So not so bad. So that might have been one of my favorite scenes for sure.
There is something I think we should talk about leading into the next film.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite Christmas films. I watch it every single time it's on. So, what do you say? Let's talk turkey.
Let's turkey. Oh, yay! I'm so glad you love that movie. That makes my heart happy.
What was this pitch like to you when you got this script? What was this for you? This is a very funny film, but it has a really different twist that no other film has. You have this Hallmark genre that has all these different stories and twists and moments. What was this like for you first when you got the script?
Well, this one I auditioned for, and they were searching for someone who could do a British accent and an American accent convincingly. And so I got the script for Abby and I got the script for Peggy, and I had to do both. And I had to do a couple rounds. You know, I got some notes from the network about what was working and what wasn't. And so it was a bit of an up and down. It was, okay, it's not going your way. And I had to let it go. Because honestly, when I got the script, I went, oh, this is made for me. Like, I would love to do this movie. The humor in it, the concept, the accent, all of it, I was like, it felt like the perfect fit. So when I found out it didn't go my way, I was very sad. And then when I found out I got another chance, I was really excited, but tried not to get my hopes up. And then when I found out I got to do it, I was thrilled. And I put a lot of prep into my accent because I really wanted it to be convincing. And so I worked with a dialect coach, and I would go to bed every night reading Harry Potter out loud. That was one of his tips, was like, read something unrelated to your script in your accent. So I was rereading Goblet of Fire or something, and bless my husband, he just would listen to me. I was like, I have to do my reading before I go to bed. So I worked really hard on it. And I got to work with Niall, who was just so lovely and also hilarious. And our director, Mark Jean, he really let me play into the comedy. And it was a dream. It was a dream. It was one of my first Hallmark leads. So it was exciting and nerve-wracking. And it's just so great to hear people enjoyed the movie, because it was really fun to make. And I'm really proud of it.
No, did you want me to go next?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So speaking of the British accent, was it hard to like fluctuate between the British accent and the American accent, like to do it that quick?
I didn't find it because I worked so hard. If I hadn't been prepping, I think that would have been extremely difficult. But you know, I got there on the first day, and I remember Mark, the director, coming up to me being like, "Your accent sounds really good. You've been working on it."
Yeah, it was really good.
Thank you. You know, it's funny. They say stay offline, don't read the comments. And when that came out, I did just that, because I saw a couple comments commenting that my accent was awful, and I was like, okay, I have to walk away from the message boards, because not everyone is going to enjoy this or buy it, and that's okay. But I did work very hard on it, and I think it turned out all right. So
I first like watched it, I was like, wait, like I looked up, I was like, is she British or is she not British? Because
I want to hear
accent.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. I've played British a few times, and I get to do it again. So
yeah.
Everyone's a critic. Everyone is a critic.
Yes.
But with the Hallmark crowd, they are the biggest critics.
Are they?
Yes. Once we get into our little game, we'll have a little bit of a story for you. I've got a story that one director made a movie with a specific star, and she goes, "Be careful, because if this is bad, my fans will eat you alive." And I went, "Oh, okay." So that'll be a fun story.
Okay.
With Holiday Hotline.
Yeah.
This is very different. we don't get a lot of food movies like this. Normally, we get a cooking movie. When you're reading this, what was it like knowing that they're not actually going to have you cooking it and you have to say what they have to do? What was that like as an actor?
Being on the phone line telling them how they have to cook. I mean, I am not much of a cook myself, so intimidating for sure. I definitely, when the callers were hanging up on me or not quite getting it, that frustration, I was like, I can understand. I don't think I'd be the best teacher for sure. But I will say we got to do some cooking montages, and man, was I proud of myself. It was the camera's on and it's like, all right, you got to crack all the eggs and you got to whisk it together and pour all the oil. And I did everything without getting a shell out of place. And, I was like, this is a success. I made it. So a cooking movie is not my forte. Luckily, they had all of the lines written for me, so I got to give them all of that. But one of my co-stars who played oh my gosh, who was the guy on the hotline? Roger.
Roger.
Oh, he improvised. He'd go off script. He was so funny. He was so funny. I just adored working with him. That was amazing. We spent 3 days working at that hotline to start the movie.
Do we have anything else to ask? Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, do we have any other questions for this movie?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I loved like all of like the dad jokes. Who was the funniest person to work with on set?
Oh, Niall. Niall makes me laugh. He's just funny. Knowing someone, it's just their like essence. It's like they're not doing anything, but they're funny. Like putting on his shoes, and for some reason, I would just burst out laughing. I just find him as a person very hilarious. We got along so well, and I hope I get to work with him again one day. We had so much fun. Yeah,
you guys had a good connection in that movie too. I felt like it was very good give and take.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I've been very, very lucky with my co-stars for sure.
Like even doing the scenes too, like with the phone calls and having to be like not in the same place, but then when you were also filming in the same place, how was that? Because you can't make eye contact in the same.
It was cool because that was what the director, like they came up with that. That's not how it was scripted originally. And they're like, we think there should be like an element, not magic, but for the audience, just I'd take my cord because I'd have this headset on and I'd either tuck it in the back of my pants or like hide it up my vest. There's nowhere that it's plugging into. But it was fun. A lot of phone call scenes you read with the script supervisor. You're actually working with your cast members. So it was really nice getting to be there with Niall, but we weren't allowed to touch. We could never like accidentally touch arms or anything. We'd have to go again. And we'd have to pretend we weren't there, right? Which closest case was the dance fantasy, I think, where they're like almost make eye contact. So it was difficult, but also a really fun challenge.
Yeah, I feel like it turned out really neat. You don't get to see that in a lot of movies.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So we had your other co-star from another film on our podcast not too long ago. I've met the guy. These other two haven't. Greatest guy I've ever met. I want to talk about Planning on Forever. Alec.
Alec, yes.
What was he like? He has a wide range. In one film, he had to play I believe it was Brazilian. What was he like on set? I've been told he's very fun, but he's very serious at the same time. What was your experience like with Alec?
Absolutely. I think Alec is a really passionate guy. He loves the work. When we got there, he asked if we could meet up and go over the script and our scenes. And he was really appreciative of the fact that I was willing to and open to giving my time, because I think some people maybe haven't been as generous, but I always love when people want to rehearse. And it was very clear he cared very deeply about telling this story and our characters having a connection. And so, yeah, I would describe Alec as passionate.
What was your favorite outfit in this film? This is a wedding-centric film, and a lot of actresses say this is their favorite type of film because all the beautiful gowns, all the beautiful things that you get to wear. Do you have a favorite outfit from that film?
Oh gosh, now I'm racking my brain. Well, what's funny is on that movie cover, that dress is supposed to be the hideous dress that I try on in the store that like makes him laugh, and then it ended up on the movie cover, which is very funny. Oh gosh, what dresses did I wear in that film? I don't remember. Am I in gowns?
You're in a purple dress. You're in a white one, which was gorgeous.
A wedding dress though, right?
No, you're just in a white dress.
Okay, I remember the purple one, but I don't remember the white one.
If I find the picture, I'll pop it up here.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll put that in post.
Okay.
And we'll just be like, oh, it's that one. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a blur. They film these things in 12 days, right? So you're just kind of, my brain's going, okay, I was in Kelowna, BC, and I remember the ugly dress, and then I remember the other purple dress, but I can't remember the white one.
Well, we'll just move on to another wedding one.
Deal.
Well, a wedding-based one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Marry Me at Christmas with these two awesome people, Trevor and Rachel. What was it like to be on set and also play Trevor's sister?
Oh, the best. Trevor is such a sweetheart, and Rachel Scarston is also so lovely. We were filming in Revelstoke, BC, so it was fun when you're on location. It's kind of like camp, right? All the cast and crew are staying in hotels somewhere, and I loved our hair and makeup artist is a good friend of mine, Kiana. I just remember having the best time. Crystal was in this one too. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Crystal Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I played Ginger. I think I'm impressed with how much I'm remembering right now. I hope it's right.
Ginger Blake.
I love to see how this movie keeps popping up on favorite lists. That's so wonderful. And I find that I'm sure everyone says they have a fun time making their movies, but like the ones you brought up have been some of the best filming experiences I've had in my life. And I just think that translates on screen. When you're working with people and you're genuinely making connections and having fun, we hope, and it seems like the audience can feel it. So overall, one of my favorite shoots. I had the best time.
I'm going to let Amanda ask this first question for the next one because there's a big star in here that we all love, but Amanda has to take the honors. We're going to talk about A Kind-Hearted Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, so my question is, what was it like to work with Cameron Matheson?
Oh my gosh, he's such a pro. Like just someone who has because he came from the soap opera world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes,
him telling me about that, filming 20 pages a day, like you just have to be ready to go. So you can tell this man he's put in his 10,000 hours. He is a master at craft and also just a lovely human. Like such a pro, such a nice guy. I have nothing but great things to say.
Yeah, because he's on General Hospital right now, and like he's the main reason why I watch like every day, because I enjoy anything that he's in, and he's definitely one of my favorite actors.
Oh, amazing. Well, you'll be happy to know he's genuinely a wonderful person. So
with Christmas films, they can either be shot in the summer where it's 95 degrees out, or it can be shot in the winter. In your experience with the Christmas films,
yes,
were most of them shot in the summer, or did you shoot a little closer to the holidays?
You know what? I'm going to say closer to the holidays. I think most of my Christmas movies, I can't remember being sweltering, which you hear a lot of. You hear people are filming Christmas movies in the summer. I run cold though, so I'm like, maybe I have. I've been like fine in my winter coat. But I genuinely think that the Christmas movies I've done, also filming in Vancouver, we only get 2 months of really warm weather. So I feel like it's been cooler. I feel like it's been closer to the holidays. Both Holiday Hotline, I know that filmed October, November, and I left Winnipeg like a week before a giant snowstorm. So I got out of there before it got too cold. And Wish Swap's not Christmas, but that was November as well. So yeah, hard to say, but I think I know that I haven't had a sweltering heat filming experience
Yet. Knock on wood.
yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we heard quite the stories from some of the ones that have filmed them in the summer, and they're like, we have fans everywhere and buckets of water ready with ice.
Oh, yeah. You feel the guys often have like layers of sweaters and scarves
Yeah.
and jackets and two. And Hallmark used to be very specific, like jackets have to be done up, and it would kind of be a war between the actor and the wardrobe. Being actors like, no, I'm wearing this thing open, and wardrobe's like, no, you need to. So yeah.
Well, moving away from Christmas and happy,
Okay.
you haven't always done the happy romance movies.
Correct.
There's one specific film that I want to bring up, and it's Influencer.
Yes.
You shot on a beautiful location.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this shot, and what was your experience with this film compared to a romance film?
Oh, wow. Well, Influencer was shot in Thailand in 2021 when it was still, we were in the pandemic. So it was a really unique experience. I'd never been to Thailand before, so I had no reference point, but that place is made, I would say 80% of their business is tourism, and there was no one there. It was deserted. When Influencer was written, it was a very different film. It was supposed to feel busy and like a full moon party would feel today. Funny enough, I actually just went back to Thailand. I was in Koh Samui where we shot the first movie. So it was really, really fun to revisit. But I mean, this is a different thing altogether. This was an independent film. I think there were 10 or 11 people total, cast and crew, all traveling together in a van, going to so many different points throughout Thailand. And I mean, it's amazing to work with that tight-knit crew. It's also amazing to see a romantic comedy at Hallmark. You have this well-oiled machine, 100 people, everyone has their specific things they're doing, but it's also really cool to see 10 people do the same thing in a completely different way. And tonally, it's a different style of acting. I really like playing things a little more grounded and subdued. And I love playing a thriller, playing scared, trying to figure that stuff out. And it was really fun. Thank you for bringing that up. It's one of my favorite projects.
And let's move into something a little bit more happy. Move away from scary, because our audience doesn't really like all that stuff, but I'm a horror guy. I have to. But let's get into something. I was looking up stuff you've done, and as a guy, I'm like, what is this? And then the girls before we got on was like, you don't know this? I'm like, I'm a guy. You play with cars and rocks and sticks and figures. Let's go into Polly Pocket.
Okay.
Your reaction is my favorite. Yes, okay. How were you put in this role? Was this an offer, or did you have to audition for this? And what's your experience voicing Polly?
Wow. Okay, this actually ties back to Marry Me at Christmas. So
really?
I auditioned for the role of Polly Pocket, and then I found out I had a callback in person, but I was going to be away filming. So I wasn't able to go to the callback. And the callback was also a chemistry read. And what that meant was we were going in the room with people to play the best friend roles in the show. And so they want to see how the voices sound together, how you play off of each other. So I was really upset that I didn't get to go to that, because what a cool opportunity. And when I went for the original audition, I didn't read for Polly. I read for Lila and I read for Gwen and lots of other characters on the show, but I didn't know what to do with Polly. Lila was like, you know, a shopping fanatic and like a really fun, sassy girl, and Gwen was kind of dumb, and it was really fun to play those roles. And they're like, hey, can you actually come back for Polly? I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what to do with her. And then, yeah, I found out I had the callback. I found out I couldn't go, but I had to redo my auditions. So while I'm filming in Revelstoke, I went into my closet in my hotel room and recorded my Polly Pocket callback. And from that closet, I booked Polly Pocket, which is so exciting. A dream role. And it was my first voiceover gig. So I went into the recording studio. I don't know if you know much about voiceover, but you go in with the other castmates and you perform it like a play. And so you'll do a scene and then the director will give direction or tell you to change something, or, you know, and then you do it again and you do it until you get it. But each episode's like a 4-hour block that you go in and record. So I was really lucky. I worked with a lot of amazing, talented people who I learned so much from, because it's a completely different world. I started acting in TV and film when I was 10. I knew nothing about voiceover. It is a different beast entirely. So we did 6 seasons of Polly, and I consider that my boot camp. I've learned so much.
Yeah, when before you came on, we were talking to Noah, and he said, I don't even know what Polly Pockets are. And I was like, how do you not know? We were talking about how it's such a big thing.
Yeah.
When I was a kid too, and it's cool to see this resurgence. It's cool to see them honor what was so big in the past and be like, all right, well, let's make it big for these kids again, which is like fun for the parents who had the kids toys before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a dream. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and I've even seen like talks about making a live action like Polly Pockets movie. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up. It's funny. It's voiceover. You're like, they can't cast based on looks, but also like, I'm 5'3", and like, you know what? Someone could put me in their pocket if they really wanted to. So, I felt like I was the right choice visually, and it just has so happened that my voice was right there too. So,
and the last one that I would like to ask about.
Sure.
This is for me and Kirsten. We're talking to someone very special next week who is in one of these films, but you've been in a couple of them. Wedding March.
Yeah.
Tell us about each of those films and how you got those, and how are the leads? Because I mean, Jack's a legend in the Hallmark space.
Absolutely.
What was each film like with each couple? Each movie has a different couple. What was each one like?
I mean, first of all, I auditioned for the Wedding March and was very excited when I booked that. Jack Wagner and Josie Bissett were the stars, and Josie's one of my favorite on-set moms ever. She's just so cool, so down to earth. I loved hanging out with her. What a treat, and to be able to revisit these movies and get her to play my mom multiple times. Couldn't ask for a better mom. And Jack's just so cool. Jack is a legend and brought so much to these films. And, you know, that warm-hearted feeling you get on a Hallmark movie is how it felt walking onto those sets. Neil Fernley directed our first one, and sadly he passed last year, which was so devastating for me. He did my first ever Hallmark movie, which was Christmas in Canaan, starring Billy Ray Cyrus. And he then cast me in the Wedding March, and he had a big hand in my career, and I adore him, and I know he has done so much for the Hallmark Channel, and love that man. So the first movie was a dream. I had so much fun getting to play Grace.
Grace.
Am I getting her name right? Okay, yes. And then the second movie, I was in it very quickly. I remember I had a phone call maybe. And then I got to come back for the fourth one, which was Merritt Patterson, who I grew up acting with. So it was really fun to have her on set. And I got to marry Blair Penner, who I have married multiple times. Marry Me at Christmas. I married him there too. He's my assistant husband. So I hope I get to marry him again someday. Yeah. And we shot in Harrison Hot Springs at a beautiful location. And are they done making the Wedding March movies, do you think?
I don't know. I hope more. The scenery was gorgeous in the movies.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
With 6, they wrapped it up pretty well, but then again, how many more weddings can there be? I mean, we can just keep going.
Absolutely.
We
never know. I mean, I don't think Grace actually got married, so it'd be cool if the daughter got to come back and get married. That might be a good family. I'm pitching it.
Yeah.
Wedding March 7, Christmas.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Come on.
They could even tie it into like the Wedding Veil movies. Maybe someone from the Wedding Veil ends up there. They get married.
I like it. Like it.
So, is there any other movies or shows that you girls would like to ask about?
I just had some fun questions, like about different things.
Let's move into the fun questions, and then we'll move into the game.
Awesome.
Okay. So my first fun question was, now since you've gotten to do like a lot of different films with Hallmark, have you ever had like a really like memorable experience with a fan, or like a funny moment or something that you've seen on like social media?
Oh, wow. I mean, I just would say that the outpour of support, like when you said the Hallmark fans are so critical, I haven't experienced that. I have experienced the outpour of love, and just it feels like such a beautiful community to be a part of. And I know the Wish Swap specifically was very well received, and I guess maybe that's not as common as I would have thought, but I'm so grateful for it. I don't think I've had anything that stands out other than just overwhelming support from the community. And I just, I'm so appreciative, and I'm excited to be a part of the family, and hope there's more projects to come.
I hope so too.
There's one specific actor that the Hallmark fans really hold close, especially Kirsten down here. Down here. And you worked with them. Tyler Hines. What was he like on set?
Oh, he was wonderful. Yeah, that was Mechanics of Love with Shanae Grimes and Tyler Hines. We had an awesome time. I adored working with him. I just was asked on another podcast who I would like to work with on a future movie. He's definitely up there. I think he's such a talented actor and just a beautiful human. Like, I watch him interact with fans, and it feels so genuine. And I just think he's a real stand-up guy. So I can't say enough good things. He was wonderful. Yeah.
We're going to try and get him on.
Amazing.
So if we get him on, would you like to come on as a surprise for him?
Sure. Absolutely. I'd love to say hello.
That'd be very, very fun, I think. I mean, he loves all the surprises. He loves fans. He knows Kirsten so well. We're trying, but clip this out. Hey, Tyler. On the podcast, I promise we'll have fun. We're not too scary. Maybe. For my next fun question, and then we'll go back to Kirsten. What is the best advice a director has given you on set?
Wow. Oh, that's hard. That's hard to pinpoint off the top of my head. The best advice. I would say can I say a director of photography?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I worked with the director of photography who did Pulp Fiction, and I worked with him on a movie called USS Indianapolis Men of Courage. And we had a really interesting conversation where he was telling me about how skilled an actor John Travolta is specifically. how he understands the camera lenses, and how newer actors coming up don't have that same understanding, and how your performance is going to shift based on the camera lens they're using. And that's something that's really stuck with me. And I'm still wrapping my head around which camera lens is what. But I just think that's such great advice to understand what they're capturing, how close they are, and how that needs to change in your performance. Obviously, if you're doing a wide shot to a super close up, it's going to change things for you. But I'd love to continue to work on that and become a master of understanding my lenses and really letting that play out in my performance. So that's something I'm still continuing to work on, but I think that's an excellent piece of advice.
And then my question that I had was more Christmas based. So now that you've done all the Christmas movies and fun things, do you have any fun, like maybe family Christmas traditions or things that you've started because you've done different Christmas movies?
Okay, I'm so sorry. Could you repeat the question?
Repeat it.
Can we pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Someone just, I don't know who it is. Okay. Thank
Good.
you.
Okay. So now that you've gotten to do like different Christmas movies and gotten to see like different traditions they've done on those Christmas movies, do you have any fun family traditions that you've like done recently or ones from the past that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I mean, my family always likes to get together and put on Christmas music and decorate the tree together. And we had like a true ugly Christmas tree with old crafts from when we were 5 that are not cute, but they go up there. I really like that classic Christmas look rather than having a, beautiful all matching crystal ornaments. That's nice too. But I just think there's something special about the homemade Christmas crafts that aren't great. Yeah, that's a tradition we have. We always watch The Christmas Story. That's our family movie, and the Home Alone movies too are also really fun. Home Alone 2 is my grandpa's favorite movie, and he watched it all year round. And so I always really like watching that in memory of him as well. So
yeah, my other question was actually going to be, what are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Yeah, those ones and Elf. I love Elf. That one's always fun to put on presents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the last fun one that I had was, if you could film a movie anywhere with anybody, like where would it be and who would you want to work with?
Oh gosh. That's a hard question. I could go anywhere.
Yep.
Where do I want to go in the world? Oh my gosh, I feel so stumped. I've just been so lucky to travel a lot in the last couple of years to lots of amazing destinations. So I'm going to say Japan. I would love to work in Japan, and I would love to work with, let's say, Laura Dern and Reese Witherspoon and just female powerhouses. I just think that would be a dream.
Could be like the perfect like sister duo.
I'll take it. It'd be so fun.
I have 2 other questions, and then we'll go into the game.
Okay.
My first question is, a lot of families watch. Okay, let me rephrase that. When you shoot a movie, does your family watch them, and do they have a favorite one that you've been in?
Yes. My family is very supportive, which is so lovely. My dad really liked this TV show I was on called Mr. Young. It was for YTV and Disney, and it was really fun and silly. And I played a character who was quite dumb, which was she was kind of dumb and she was kind of mean, and she was so fun to play. Ivy, I miss her. There's certain characters you really miss. I definitely miss her. So I know that was one of my dad's favorite. I know he still watches episodes now. I don't even know where he finds them. Anything that I'm in, he'll PVR and he'll rewatch. Oh gosh. What are some of the, I think Mr. Young's like the favorite of my dad's, I think, because it was just comedy and it was really out there. Um, I know they really liked the Wish Swap, and yeah, I'm stumped. But they're very supportive. They do watch all my stuff.
You were just recently on another podcast with a couple of friends of ours,
Really?
Sarah and Julie.
Oh,
And Julie. So, what were they like? Because I've never met them face to face, but I've spoke to Sarah multiple times, and she's such a sweetheart.
yeah.
But what are they like as a pro interviewer? Because they've done this thousands of times, and what were they like? Because God love them, they are such pros at this.
Oh yeah, they didn't miss a beat, They just you could tell they worked really well together. They really fed off of each other. They knew when, one person was coming in to speak, and the other person, it felt like a well-oiled machine. It definitely felt like they've done it many times before, and they were so lovely. And also just very free. Like if the conversation went a different direction, they'd easily come up with questions that went into that. So it felt like it went off script in a really natural way, which was fun.
And then finally, for Kirsten and I, would you ever want to join Christmas Con, be a guest at Christmas Con or the Kansas City event that Hallmark does?
Oh, I would love to. Oh my gosh, what a dream. Yes, absolutely, hands down.
Yeah, they are so much fun, the fan events. It's so neat, like getting to see like the fans interact with everybody. Like I think you would love it.
Oh, that's so fun. Again, it's just like the most welcoming community, and especially those Christmas events, it feels like there would be extra magic in the air or something. So yeah, count me in.
We'll move into the this or that segment.
Okay.
And I'll start off with this one. Would you rather become a regular on Heartland or When Calls the Heart?
Ooh. Okay, good question. I mean, the animal lover in me is pulled towards Heartland. But When Calls the Heart films in BC, which I love because I get to be home. And they have amazing costumes. So I think I'd go with When Calls the Heart. And just an incredible cast. I know so many people on that show. I would love to join them. That would be so fun.
Yeah, and Pascal was in the Wish Swap, and she was also in that. So that
yeah, she's the best. I would love to work with her again for sure.
I bring up that question first because that leads into the story of how some fans are very protective over people, and Kirsten knows where I'm going with this. So we talked to one of the best interviews we've ever had is with Max McGuire, who's made tons of movies for the Hallmark Channel. He made a movie with Abby from Heartland, and they were filming. No, they were doing the meeting to see if she would even do the movie. Her first word of advice says, "If this movie is bad, my fans will eat you alive." 15 seasons of playing the same character. And first off, he rolled his eyes. Oh, sure. No. It was announced that she was cast in that. He wasn't even announced as the director yet. I don't know how they found out, he says, because nothing was announced. It was just that she was on this set in this area filming this. He got over 200 DMs from Heartland fans.
Whoa. Going,
if you mess this up, we will destroy your movie. And I'm like, oh my God.
Whoa, that's intense.
My God. I love Hallmark fans. I love the Canadian show fans. But after hearing that, that's where I was like, oh, maybe we are just a little bit crazy. Maybe a little bit crazy. I mean, we protect our stars.
For sure. And if it comes out in a supportive, loving way, the craziness is welcome. We love a fandom. We love that people are excited about what we're doing. But yeah, that's intense. I would have been.
All right. So now we'll just go back and forth until we're at the end of the question. So I'm going to have Kirsten go next, and then myself, and then Amanda. And we'll just go down the line.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So do you rather film a movie in the winter or in the summer?
Summer. Like I said, I run cold, so I'm usually all right in the summer, and in the winter, no, like 10
I agree.
by the heater shivering. So yeah, for sure.
Would you rather watch a rom-com or read a rom-com?
Watch a rom-com for sure. I don't know that I've ever read a rom-com though, so maybe I should give it a chance. Yeah.
Film a movie in the U.S. or in Canada?
I think because I've worked so much in Canada, I would love to go film a movie in the US and see what that's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather be surprised who your co-star is on set or find out like way before shooting it?
I'd like to find out before shooting. Yeah. I would like to find out before shooting. Just to kind of, whether or not you know the person, it'd be nice to connect beforehand or get a vibe check. Like, who am I working with? Do they know anyone I know? You kind of want to know what you're walking into. So
Yeah, there's like personal interests and different things.
yeah.
Would you rather film a royal movie or a cooking movie? You sort of answered this, but a royal movie or a cooking movie if you had the opportunity.
I would say a royal movie because I would love to film in a castle, and I'd love to wear fancy dresses. So
You can do the British accent.
Yeah.
yes, okay. Bring that in the universe too.
Be in a Star Wars movie or an MCU movie?
I'm gonna say Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, I like Marvel a lot.
And then the final question, I only put this on here because yesterday was a big day.
Okay.
Up in Canada and here in the States. First off, are you or your husband sports fans?
He's a big sports fan. I grew up watching hockey with my dad, and my husband's also a big hockey fan. So, and a lacrosse fan. He's actually going to a lacrosse game tonight. So, yes, it's in the household. I wouldn't say I put it on when no one's home, but I will happily watch a game with my husband or my dad. Yeah.
That leads into, did they watch the game last night with the crazy overtime? Because that was a nail biter. I'm not a hockey guy, but that was scary.
It really was. Yes, and I got to be there for the third period, which was nice. We got together with a group of friends, so it was a big celebration over here. It was really fun.
And then I'll end off with two final questions.
Okay.
You sort of answered this, but who are some actors in the Hallmark scene besides the Tyler Hines that you would like to work with? And would you want to do a film series like what they've done with the Wedding Veils and with the Love Club and the Unwrapping Christmas series with a lead of 4 different women and you're one of them?
Oh my gosh, yes. Sign me up. I would adore that. And as far as working with other Hallmark stars, Janelle Parrish is a friend of mine. We did a movie together called Triple Dog when we were 19. So that was really fun. And it's been amazing to see her career in Hallmark take off. So I would love the opportunity to work with Janelle. Cindy Busby, who is a Hallmark legend. She's from Vancouver as well. So I've known her through the film industry. We worked on Cedar Cove together, and she just is such a lovely person. I think it'd be really fun to work with her. And that's who comes top of mind. But there's so many amazing actors in this world. And yeah, I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And then finally, would you want to come back on when you have another film out?
Absolutely. This has been so much fun. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much first for the video for Jake, because those are very nerve-wracking to ask for, because some people won't, but it's awesome when they do, and thank you so much for that.
Oh my gosh, it was no problem. I hope that he liked it, and yeah, thanks for asking.
And as always, guys, like and subscribe if you're new. We have a few interviews planned down the pipeline. Next week we have somebody very special, and then we have a massive interview in March. I don't know how we set this up. It's been months in the making. But thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep your heart full of Hallmark.